Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah wa ala ali wa sahbihi ajma'een. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Wa ba'du, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah, we'll be continuing on with part 3. This is lesson 2, and we'll be looking at the connected form of the Arabic letters, inshallah. As I said before, this part 3 is quite important for sisters who have learnt to read from maybe childhood, but who haven't learned with Tajweed, and also the non-Arab sisters who recite Qur'an but obviously are not using Tajweed or the correct articulation points and the sifat along with it. And from my experience, what I have learnt is to do these basics with the sisters first before going to the Tajweed rules has many benefits, because there's a lot of things that have been overlooked when we reciting Qur'an over a number of years. We overlook certain things, so going over these basic things will inshallah really help you, inshallah, and will benefit you in the long run when we be looking at the Tajweed rules, the more complex Tajweed rules, inshallah. And this will, inshallah, these practice exercises will increase your fluency, inshallah, and get rid of all the minor mistakes that you are making. So if you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe so you can receive the updated lessons, inshallah, which I'll be doing every week, inshallah, hoping to upload every week, inshallah, bidhnillahi ta'ala. I will actually be uploading a video, inshallah, very soon, a bonus video for you, so keep a lookout for that. It's with my son Qari Sulaiman. As obviously you can't see me, you can only hear me, I will have him in front of the camera, inshallah, and you'll be able to see how he articulates letters and how he reads certain words. So you'll be able to see visually where the tongue hits the teeth, or what the lips look like, or what the throat looks like, as he's, mashallah, very proficient reciter of the Qur'an. So you'll be able to visually see and also practice, inshallah, and the aim is to help you a bit more, inshallah, visually, inshallah ta'ala. So keep a lookout for that, inshallah. Bismillah. So let's begin. Bismillah. Last lesson we looked at the fatha, the kasra, and the dhamma, and how to pronounce those letters with the correct articulation points and with the correct accent. Here, this exercise will really help you to know which letters come where. Okay, so here we have these 6 letters. The alif stick with a hamza on it, waw, dal, dhal, ra, zay. These letters do not join with the letters that come after. Obviously, reading from right to left, they do not join on to the letters that come after. They only come on their own, or they will join on to the letter preceding it, before it. Okay, inshallah. And this exercise, this is something very important for you to note. Have your notepad out, and please make a note of these letters, make a note of this point, because sometimes sisters mistake this, for example, this long stick as a lam, thinking it comes in between, joining in between. Lam does join the letter before it, and it joins onto the letter after, so it can come in between 2 letters joining on, but this alif stick will not. Okay, so if you know this hamza, this long stick, this alif stick with a hamza on it does not join on with the letter after, you will not mistake it for a lam. Likewise, this dhal is often mistaken with a noon, because noon joins on with the letter after, and sisters mistake the dhal with the noon. Okay, if you know dhal does not join on with the noon, with the letter after, then you will not mistake it, inshallah. Okay, so this exercise will inshallah provide this recognition for you, inshallah ta'ala. Okay, bismillah. So this is the first letter. This is, remember, the alif stick with a hamza on. So it will appear in the start on its own. It can appear on its own, or it can be connected to the letter before. I'll zoom in a little bit just to make it a bit more clearer. Okay, Bismillah. So here, أخذ, فأخذ. Okay, you just need to notice what they look like in the start, and you see it won't join on with the letter after. Bismillah. Well, وهو. You see, doesn't connect onto letter after. فوهب. Okay, it doesn't connect on to the letter after, but it connects onto the letter before it. Dal, دخل, صدق. Okay, it connects with the letter before and not the letter after. ذال, أذن, كذب. Again, ذال does not connect to the letter after, it does connect to the letter before it. And it's a good idea to just write these down and just for your practice, so you can see how these letters form and what they look like when they are joined onto the letter before, and they can appear on their own like this. The letter Ra, ورثتي, and again it joins onto the letter before like this, looks like this. عرضهم, عرضهم. زي, زبوري, and it joins onto the letter before, so it's joining onto the fa before and not to the ayn after. ففزع. Okay, so inshallah we continue on with the next page. Bismillah. So here we are, the rest of the Arabic letters. So apart from the orphan letters, the 6 orphan letters, these letters will join on to the letters before and to the letters after. Okay, and this column here in the middle, connected form, it shows you what the letter looks like when it joins on to the letter after. So here the ba, how it looks when it joins onto the letter after, when it is in between 2 letters, so when it joins onto the letter before and to the letter after, and also when it joins onto the letter before it only, okay, appearing in the end of the word, and it can also appear on its own like this. Okay, so just focus on this column here, have a pen ready to write all these down, okay, just as an example for you, and this will increase your letter recognition, inshallah, if you are not so fluent at reciting and recognizing some of these letters. Okay, so Bismillah, we'll read these examples quickly, inshallah. Bismillah. Duburahu. Now this ba connected to the letter after, okay, unlike the orphan letters. Bismillah. Bakhila. Now you see here the ba, this is ba on top of the kha, this one over here. Okay, now this ba, if you see, it looks like a little hook here, and it's on top of the kha, and it has 1 dot underneath. So if it looks like this is a ba. Okay, inshallah. Khabutha, this is in the middle. Dhahaba, duriba, on its own. Okay, so just try to highlight it and notice this, inshallah, what they look like when they're joined in the connected form. Ta, similar to ba. Atadharu, tajida, fataha, sakata, hushirat. Now you notice ra is an orphan letter, so it won't join onto the letter after, so ta will be on its own like this. Hushirat, because these orphan letters cause a graphic rupture. That's the reason why they don't join on to the letters after, because it's not possible to write these join on to the next letter. Okay, so again, like the ba, just notice what they look like when they are in between letters, in the start and after, at the end of the letter of a word. Tha, and this is a tha, not a sheen, and sometimes sheen gets mixed up with tha, and sheen and tha gets mixed up with sheen. Okay, tha is a simple line, a straight line, and in the start of a word or if it's connected to a letter after, if it's in between two letters, if it's at the end of a letter, after a letter, and on its own. ورثة ثجاجا ثلثه خبث حرث. Okay. Jim. Look at what Jim looks like. Jim, if you notice, the head remains and it loses its tail. It loses its thing when it's joined onto the letter after. Wajada. Yeah, it's joining onto the dal, so it just the head remains and the tail goes. In the middle, it looks the same, but it also joins onto the letter before it. Shajaratu. Jim here. And at the end, Yaliju. And on its own it can appear also. Maraja. Okay. Bismillah. The next letter is Ha. Ha. Just similar to Jim. It loses its tail. The head remains when it's connected to the letter after, or if it's connected to the letter before and after. When it's on its own, it remains in the same state. And if it's connected to the letter before and it's coming at the end of a word, and it still remains its form, like this. So let's quickly read this. Bismillah. Hamala wa futihati suhufi dhubiha sharaha. Okay, this letter here is the ha. Okay, this letter here is the ha. It's connected to the sad before it. So in the middle, it can look like this. Okay, and the letters that join onto the letter kha or ha or jim like this, they usually appear on top like this. Okay, so just remember, its head remains and it loses its tail. Again, similar thing with kha. Okay, khuluqu sakhita bakhila wa nafakha barzakhun. And again, it joins on to the letter before and after. It looks like this. And in the start, it looks like this. And at the end, because zay doesn't join on, it's an orphan letter, so kha will appear on its own like this. Whereas here, fa just join on to the letter after, so kha will join on and look like this at the end. The letter sin in the start of a word, letter connected to letter after, in the middle, at the end, joining with the letter before, and if it's preceded by an orphan letter, it will appear on its own. Sakata, hasada, abasa, yuwaswisu. Sheen, similar to seen again, but this time it has 3 dots on top. Okay, that's what differentiates seen with sheen. Looks similar, but this one has 3 dots on top. Sheen has 3 dots, and it loses its tail here when it's in the start of a word, and when it's joined in the middle, it loses its tail. Shajaratu hushira qurayshin al-wuhushu. Sad looks like a ball without the long stick there. Okay, and the start again, this one loses its tail. It loses this thing there, loses the tail from here. And when it's in the start of a word, or if it's in between a word, at the end, and at the end preceded by an orphan letter, it appears in its true form. Bismillah. Sabar bi'isami nakasa موصٍ. Letter ضاد, similar to صاد, but it has a dot on top, one dot. ضحاها, ضرب, حضر, أنقض, فرض. Letter ض, and ض looks the same whether it's in the start, if it's in the middle, or at the end, and it's pretty clear that ض just looks like ض, it doesn't lose anything, and it looks like its original form, whether it's in the start, middle, or the end of a word. طبع, فطر, بسط, صراط. ض, which is similar to ض but has one dot on top. ظلم, أعظك, حفظ, محفوظ. عين. Okay, عين is a little bit of a tricky one because it looks different when it is in the start and it connects the letter after. It looks like this. It loses its tail, but the top of its head remains. Okay, but when it's in the middle of two letters, middle of a word, it will look like this. And sisters get mixed up with this and a meme. Okay, we'll look at meme afterwards. It's going to come after. But this, look at ayn, it looks like this. Okay, just make sure that you take a note of this. This is ayn, not a meme. And at the end, it'll still, the head looks different, but the tail comes back. عليهم, بعث. Okay, in the middle, this is ayn. رفع, شرع. Okay, alhamdulillah. غين, similar to ayn, but it has one dot on top. غفر, فغفر, يبتغي, نزغ. Letter fa, in the start of a letter, start of a word followed by a letter connected to a letter after. It looks the same. It just loses a little bit of this, of its end. In the middle of a word, it looks like this. Okay, and it has empty space in there, little round empty space in there, with one dot on top. And at the end, it looks like this in its true form, and like this, and it's preceded by an orphan letter. Okay, so Bismillah. وفتحت ينفخ. Here's the fa. ينفخ. ترجف. فسوف. قاف, similar to fa, in the start, in the middle, and at the end. قرئ, فقتل, خلق, سرق. كاف. Kaf looks very different. In the start, it looks like this. In the middle, it has this. And at the end of a word, it would look like this, with this thing in the middle here. A little ya in the middle, sitting inside it. And also, at the end, when it's preceded by an orphan letter, it looks like it comes in its true form. So let's read this. Bismillah. كذب, سكت, maliki, taraka. And here we have lam. Lam joins on to the letter after and before it. But when it's preceded by an orphan letter, it looks like this. Walawi. Okay, this orphan, wow is an orphan letter because that doesn't join on to the letter after, so lam will appear like this in the middle of a word. This is lam alif. لأهب, لأهب. Now this Hamza has taken this alif seat. Okay, so we read it as لأهب. lam alif again, fala. Now this is not an alif, this is a lam. Okay, remember we said the alif stick does not join onto the letter after. That's an orphan letter. So remember, whenever you say this long stick in the middle connected to the letter before and after, it is a lam, it is not an alif. Okay, alima, alima. At the end of a word, it looks like in this true form, and again preceded by an orphan letter, it comes in its true form. Amali, biqawli. Meme in the start, in the middle, and at the end. Nawmakum khumusahu mamnunin wa namariqu ghanamu zulima irama ami. And meme looks different. Meme has this round head in the start, in the middle, but then when it comes at the end, this round head is colored in, okay? So, and it appears like its true form when it is preceded by an orphan letter. Okay, so inshallah, it's bear these things in mind, inshallah, and just take a note of them. Noon looks like this in the start, when it's in the middle of a word, and at the end, and on its own. وَنَفَخَ نَجْعَلِ مَنَعَ لَعَنَ تَرَنِي. So here we have ha in the start, connected to letter after, in the middle when it has letters preceding it and after it. It also looks like this, and ha can also appear like this, like a hook type shape, okay, like in this word shahida. And ha also can look like this flag type shape, and it can also look like this. So let's read the examples. Here, فهو تلهى شهد خمسه دبره. Okay, alhamdulillah. And the final one is ya in the start, in the middle. It can totally change actually. If you see, ya looks like this, but when it has two dots, it's joined onto the letter after, so it will have two dots, and it will look like a little bit like the boat shape of ba and da and tha. It will it takes that shape, but it has two dots underneath. Okay, this is in the start of a word with a ya connected to a letter after it. If it's connected to a letter before and after, it will appear like this with two dots underneath. And if it's at the end of a word connected to a letter before it, it keeps its true shape. And if it's preceded by an orphan letter, here dal, then it keeps its original shape as well. Yakuni yakhshaha liyuriyahu khashiya yadayi. Alhamdulillah, we've completed lesson 2. Inshallah, we'll be meeting next time with as-sakina letters, al-huruf as-sakina. And alhamdulillah, this will be a very good reminder for the sifat we covered in part 2, ash-shidda, at-tawassut, ar-rahawa. And if you remember, that was the golden rule. And if you can master the sakina letters, the timing that the sakina letters needs when you pronounce them, then inshallah that will further beautify your recitation, inshallah. So this next lesson will inshallah also be very beneficial, inshallah ta'ala. So inshallah we meet for next time. Sisters, do send some feedback, some comments, some suggestions, inshallah ta'ala. and I'll do my best to address them, inshallah. Do look out for the video, the bonus video as well, inshallah. So see you next time, inshallah. Meet next time. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.